Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome on board. Thank you so very much for joining me this time. Thank you so much for your time. Please help me to grow this channel. I'm asking you to please subscribe. Remember, your subscription is free. Just help me to grow this channel and welcome on board. Last time we were talking about evil strongholds. So we talked about evil strongholds, how the devil evil seats in people's life, evil manipulation in someone's life, and so on and so forth. So in today's video, we are still going to continue on evil strongholds as we take it upon ourselves, we as Christian believers of Jesus Christ. Okay, there are so many people who are under the influence of evil spirits. But the problem is most of us, we know, or at times one might not know. And then you find that unfortunately many Christians of nowadays, we just believe in a normal tradition of going to church, living under this illusion of a religious tradition of going to church, being born again, and then leave all the prayings to the pastor to do for you. It's not bad, but there are some situations whereby you as an individual, you have to engage in prayers and fasting. You alone knows the extent, the intents, and the difficulties that you are going through in your life. Therefore, as a Christian, as a child of God, learn to pray for yourself. Learn to pray for yourself. Remember, there was this a case we talked about in our last video, whereby these Jesus disciples, they were confronted with a case that they just couldn't help. They have been commissioned by our Lord Jesus Christ to go out there and preach the gospel, heal the sick, and everything else. But there was this certain case that it was beyond their means. And then they went back to the master. Jesus told them some of these cases, they only come out through prayers and fasting. So don't expect the pastor to be doing the fastings for you. These things are done in churches, collective prayers and fasting in churches. That is well and good, but learn how to do fasting for yourself. Engage in 3-day dry fasting. Engage in 7-day fasting, then water in between. Some of the difficulties we are facing, evil strongholds, those with deep ancestral roots, for us to be set free from such, we need to engage in prayer and fasting. Prayer and fasting will give you results. For sure, our Lord will never disappoint. His word promises us that ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be opened. So when we engage in prayers, we are seeking the face of God. We are seeking the divine intervention in our lives. And God will always keep his word, and he will hear us and answer our prayers in Jesus' mighty name. Thank you again for joining me this hour. Please subscribe. I'm asking you to subscribe. Your subscription is very much needed because it will help me to grow this channel so that I can develop in many other areas that will be beneficiary to you as we go along. Another sad thing that I always want to talk about, it's like many of us Christians, 90% of we Christians, let's say born again Christians, when we go to church, pastor prophesies and then say all these blessings, we receive them, and then you will find that even if after receiving and claiming this blessing in church, some of these blessings, they don't manifest in our lives. So what you will ask yourself, why is it so? My brethren, let us engage in prayer and fasting. Prayer and fasting yields results. They yield result, and that is what we have to engage in.